Hello and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I hope you had a good weekend. Lots to get through today. Gab Marcotti, Stevie Nicol and Craig Burley joining me a little later on. We'll start though in the Premier League, and of course everyone desperate for some sort of action to come back. There seems to be more positive steps about getting players back on the pitch. The UK government coming out and saying that they want to see action ASAP. Julien, obviously people are keen to see football return, but with regards to a timeline, how close are we to seeing action in England?
You're right, Dan, but this is a bit more obscure, if you want, when they will be able to play matches again. I think at training, and you see already with Arsenal today opening up the training run, albeit simply for players to arrive, get out of their car, go running, touch the ball a bit, never almost not seeing each other really, or not being too close to each other, keeping those social distancing rules, and then taking their car back and going home. But at least this is a progress compared to before, where they had to train in the garden or in the local park or things like this. So little by little you see some improvement in terms of games. This weekend there were reports here in the UK about maybe June the 8th with the final games on July the 27th. Early June might be a little bit optimistic, maybe looking more at mid-June or end of June. It will all depend as well what the government will do in terms of lockdown, and if that lockdown will be eased at the beginning of May when Boris Johnson will make a statement about it. But what's for sure, and as you said in your intro, is that the Premier League and the government have been talking, and clearly the big objective, the big aim from everyone is that football comes back. There's a feeling that the UK needs football to be back on, even behind closed doors. I think it will lift the whole mood of the nation, and that's why I think they're working all really hard to make sure that with the right conditions and everything being safe, that football can resume pretty quickly now.
Of course, it's not just in England as well. Italy making tentative steps to make a plan to return to action. This is a resumption schedule. This is a possible schedule. May the 4th, we'll see Serie A clubs that they can begin training individually while maintaining social distancing guidelines. As Jules mentioned, Arsenal started today. May the 18th, Serie A clubs can begin training in groups. June the 2nd could see the possible restart date to resume playing games behind closed doors. And by the end of July, Serie A hope to finish the season. Now that's by playing twice a week. That, of course, a very fluid situation at the moment. Meanwhile, in Germany, this was tweeted out today by Stefan Ersfeld, a reporter for ESPN FC, saying German government likely to not make a decision before May the 6th. Kicker, the newspaper, says Bundesliga return is secondary amid the ongoing crisis. If Kicker is right, the league would rather resume in late May. Definitely not on May the 9th. Jules, this is where a lot of people have been hanging their hat on the fact that maybe Germany could be the first European league to get back to action. This seems to somewhat thwart those hopes.
Yeah, although I still think that they would be the first league to start again, even if it's at the end of May, they will still be way earlier than anybody else. But I think the date of May the 9th was always very ambitious, always very optimistic. Firstly, because I think they really wanted to finish by June the 30th, so they wouldn't have to think about that issue of extending the contracts of loan players or players out of contract on June the 30th. And 9th of May was always the date like, okay, let's put everything in place and all the structure and all the protocol. And if we can do that, if we can achieve 9th of May, great. Otherwise, they always had the option of going mid-May, 16th or even 23rd, which is, in my opinion, the most likely. I don't even think that they will be able to start mid-May. But 23rd of May, I think they will be all able to start. They will have everything in place. They will have the green light from the government, from the health minister, from everybody else in clubs and players, including managers. And I think they'll be ready to go there behind closed doors. But 9th of May was always a bit ambitious.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.